Life is a journey. Like a meandering highway, it offers many roads to choose, and the ones we ultimately take dictate who we become. From the moment of birth, we are molded and shaped by events and experiences that form the essence of who we really are. And as time goes by, we gain wisdom, strength, and maturity to handle anything life may bring. And then one day, you come to the inescapable realization,
crap! I'm 50!
This is the journey of Elise Rosenthal-Neafield, the devoted mom to her two kids, Alex and Allie, the wonderful wife to her charming and incredibly handsome husband, Rick, and as the oldest sibling, the mother hen to her three brothers, Jeff, Jimmy, and David, who aspire to one day run the Gambino family racket. Elise Rosenthal-Neafield is 50, and this is her journey. Elise was born in the early morning hours of March 26, 1960, in Worcester, Massachusetts, to Joyce and Alfred Rosenthal. The hospital was located in a posh and decadently upscale neighborhood surrounded by huge homes and swanky automobiles. Unfortunately, the Rosenthals didn't live in that neighborhood. In fact, they weren't even close. The family Rosenthal made their home in a high-rise under the approach path to runway 24 at Worcester International. Although quite a bit smaller than the surrounding estates, they still treasured the intimacy it brought and marveled daily at the stunning views out their front door. As a toddler, Elise was adored by her grandfather, or Poppy as he was affectionately known, and was treated like a princess by her grandmother Nana. Although great babysitters, they would sometimes forget to feed her and she would have to forage for food on her own. Around her first birthday, Elise and her parents relocated to Dallas in search of warmer climates, and in a few short months, she became a big sister to her new baby brother, Jeff. 2 years later, Alfred found new employment and they all moved to the breathtaking city of Flint, Michigan, where in 1963, Jimmy, the middle sibling, was born, followed in 1969 by David, the youngest of the Rosenthal family. Growing up in a household with three brothers, Elise learned very quickly that by sharing things among other siblings was the best way to keep the peace, although she often failed to follow that rule herself. Still, they had many good times celebrating holidays together, even if Elise was a little iffy on her religious direction, or just hanging out at the family room table, deep in riveting conversation. While in Flint, Elise blossomed into a radiant young woman, and after high school, she enrolled at Michigan State in East Lansing to get her degree in business. After a few years, and tiring of the long, dreary winters, she decided to move to Houston. The year was 1985. On a tight budget, her first apartment in Houston had only the essentials: a chair, a mattress, and a 6-month supply of hairspray. Continuing her career plan, she found employment as a career counselor at the U of H College of Pharmacy. And it was here that she learned about what we like to refer to as pharmaceutical knowledge, and aspired to one day build her own meth lab in the basement. The plan was quickly axed when she realized there were no basements in Houston. Being single, she would often spend evenings with friends going out to restaurants, movies, or meet for a drink or two at the local clubs. It was during an evening in 1991, while out with friends at the Ginger Man in the village, Elise met the man she knew was going to be the love of her life and would eventually marry. Unfortunately, his boyfriend wasn't too thrilled with the idea, so she set her sights on the cheesy lounge lizard at the end of the bar. The rest, as they say, is history. After a whirlwind romance that included fine dining and romantic drives along the beach, Elise and I married in 1992. The 14-day honeymoon was spent traveling to some of the most romantic cities in Europe, including Paris, Cannes, and Geneva, even though 12 days were spent detouring, getting lost, driving in circles, and at times sleeping in a rented 2-door Fiat. But that's another story. It was just 3 years later we learned Elise was pregnant with our first child, Alex. In preparation for his arrival, we tried to learn everything we could about having a baby. We read the riveting What to Expect When You're Expecting cover to cover, and took classes on how to diaper without inflicting permanent damage. Feeling empathy for Elise's daily morning sickness upchucks, I volunteered to don a pregnancy suit saddled with huge breasts and a 30-pound lead weight crammed under the belly. The months progressed, and then on June 11, 1995, Alex was born, changing our lives forever. Our lives would again change in 1998 as we repeated the process, except for the really annoying fat suit, and little sister Allison came into the world. As the kids continued to grow, life was good in the Neafield household. But like any growing family, we had our shares of life's little ups and downs. Like when times were tough and Elise worked as an architect for about a whole week, or working as a freelance videographer, often capturing useless footage of the back of the lens cap.
I forgot, don't get crazy.
Or when she tried out for the LPGA tour, only to learn that one of the prerequisites is actually hitting the ball. It was during these lean years that the stresses began to mount and the stormy seas grew rougher. Unable to cope, Elise spiraled into the cold, dark abyss of depression. She turned more and more to the bottle and knocked back anything she could get her hands on. It even began to affect me. Day by day, her depression worsened and she would sit for hours watching static on TV, neglecting herself and the kids. These were the darkest of days, and the final straw came when Elise was caught rifling through Allie's drawers for her hidden flask and some pocket change. But thanks to Allie's magic fairy dance and Dad's first-hand knowledge of sorcery, the ugly veil of depression was lifted, and soon everyone, including 2 highly neurotic cats, a shy, or perhaps dead, hermit crab, and Louie the singing Chewini, became a whole family once again. You know, every so often I think back on what I would have missed if it was someone else and not me getting smashed at the Ginger Man 19 long years ago. I would have missed falling in love with a girl who always laughs at my jokes, even if they're lame. I would have missed getting to know her great parents, brothers, and all their charming quirks. I would have missed getting married, buying a house, having 2 great kids and weird animals. I would have missed the European honeymoon from hell and the joy of being together on our trips to California, New York, or wherever. But most of all, I would never have known the genuine warmth and security she provides to her kids because she's a great mom, and the confidence and encouragement she gives to me every day. Happy birthday, Elise. The best mom any kids could ever have, and the best wife any husband could ever have. We love you very much.